Hey guys, this is Dead Balto on 3 here back once again, and today I'm doing something a little bit special. Since tomorrow is Thanksgiving, I thought I would do a video where I talk about my top 20 favorite family movies. And these are movies that I grew up watching. These are movies that, are my favorite childhood movies that, I've been watching for years, and they always mean, they have a special place for me, They remind me of these movies remind me of a time back when I was a lot more innocent, So they remind me of that. They remind me of my childhood. They bring back a lot of memories every time I watch them. And so I thought that you guys would really enjoy checking them out. These movies, like I said, are perfect for families to watch together. They're all really great films, and I definitely recommend all of them. I've been planning on doing this video for a while, and originally I wanted to do a top 10 list, but there were just so many movies I just could not pick, so now I'm doing a top 20. So this is going to be part 1, so I'm going to go ahead and start it. The movies in this video are really in no particular order, but I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into them. I'm not going to talk a lot about what they're about, but I am going to give a little description. First movie I want to talk about is Baby Geniuses. This is a pretty old one. This one has Christopher Lloyd is in this one. And I always really liked this one. It was basically about these babies, and they can talk. And basically, some of them are actually in this lab. And this one right here is sort of doing research on them and things like that. And there's actually the main character are twins. And they don't know that they're twins. And one family has one of the twins' name is Wit. And I forget the other twin's name. Sly. That's his name, and which I think is kind of humorous. Sly is kind of like the smarter one, and Wit kind of just, he's kind of, they're overly intelligent, basically. And yeah, this was always a really good one for me. This movie, it's a bit traumatic, so I wouldn't say recommend it for young kids, but I would definitely recommend it for good. It's a really good family film. I might get into this movie some other time, but yeah, Baby Genius is a really good one. Now the next one is a Disney movie, which I do plan on doing a whole video where I talk about my favorite Disney films. But this is George of the Jungle, which stars Brendan Fraser, and this is basically like a Tarzan type of film. Brendan Fraser plays George. He lives in the jungle, and yeah, there's basically a woman there, and she's studying, the apes and things like that. Of course, George comes along, and you guys know the story of, Tarzan, but this is a really great one. I always loved this movie. I've not watched it in years. A lot of these movies I haven't watched in years, but this is a really, really great movie. I definitely recommend this one. I know they did a sequel, which really wasn't that great, but this is good, classic 90s Disney movies. I think that, the 90s were a good time for Disney films. And this is a really, really good one. Perfect. The next one is The Adventures of Pinocchio, with Jonathan Taylor Thomas playing Pinocchio. I like Jonathan Taylor Thomas, but yeah, this was basically just a live action version of his whole story and everything. This movie does get kind of traumatic a little bit. And I remember when I was a little kid, there was some scenes in it that I didn't like. Not because they didn't scare me, but they kind of I kind of watched and was like, well, that's a little bit weird. But, other than that, The Adventures of Pinocchio is a really great film. I definitely recommend this. Again, another really good, oh wait, no, this is not Disney. Never mind, I thought it was Disney. But, either way, it's still a really great film. Highly recommended one. Now I'm going to get into a cartoon. This is probably one of my favorite cartoons of all time that's not a Disney movie, and it's Balto, the original one. I always really enjoyed this one. It's got Kevin Bacon, Bridget Fonda, Bob Hoskins, and Phil Collins in this movie, which is a really great cast for this one film. But actually Balto, this is actually based on a true story about a dog who basically saved this girl from dying from this sickness. I forget the kind of sickness she has. She has a flu or something like that. But yeah, this is a really great family film. One of my favorite non-Disney cartoons, definitely Balto. Now the next one, I do like the first one of this one, and I'm sure a lot of people have seen this one. I like the first one, but I saw the second one before that, and I've always enjoyed the second one a bit more than the first. I always felt it was less, I guess, dark, if you can say, but it's a Homeward Bound 2, Lost in New York. And like I said, this is one of my favorite sequels. This is the one where they're lost in San Francisco, not New York. I'm so used to people being lost in New York, but San Francisco. This is just a really, really great sequel. I always enjoyed this one. Yeah, Michael J. Fox, Sally Field, and Ralph White are the two dogs and the cat. You know, they get lost in San Francisco. I definitely recommend this one. Really great one. I like the first one as well, but I always enjoyed this one better. Now, this next one is one movie I don't really hear a lot of people talk about. It's a Disney movie, but it's a Tall Tale: The Unbelievable Adventure, which stars Patrick Swayze, Scott Glenn, and Oliver Platt. And basically about this boy named Daniel, who his father ends up getting shot because he owes this guy a lot of money for his farm, basically, and he ends up running away, all sad because he blames himself for his dad getting shot. Falls asleep in a canoe and basically rows to the Old West, basically. And, Patrick Swayze plays Pecos Bill, which, if you guys know about Westerns, then you know who I'm talking about, but he's in it. Also, there's a John Henry character and a Paul Bunyan character in it as well. Really great family flick right here. Now the next one is another Jonathan Taylor Thomas movie, and it's Tom and Huck. This one is based on, of course, the story, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, with Jonathan Taylor Thomas playing Tom and Brad Renfro. I can't pronounce his last name. Renfro playing Huck. Really good film. I definitely recommend this one. It does get a little bit violent. There's actually a murder in it, and you actually do see the guy getting stabbed. Well, you don't see him actually getting stabbed, but you see it like in the background, and it's a little bit traumatic for younger children. I wouldn't recommend this for really young kids, but I would recommend this for like older kids and the whole family. Just a really great one. Like I said, don't see a lot of people talking about this, but this movie's great. Up next, this is one of my favorite cartoons, Casper. This is the movie with Christina Ricci is in this, and who else is in this one? Bill Pullman, he's in this one, and this one is produced by Steven Spielberg. Well, he was the executive producer on this, but really great film. If you're a fan of Casper, the Ghost cartoons or whatever, and some of the movies, and I definitely recommend the first one. Like I said, this is one movie I have a lot of memories of. So now the next one, I'm sure a lot of people know about this one, but it's Jumanji with Robin Williams. Really great movie. For those of you who don't know, Jumanji is about this board game that basically whatever you play in the game happens in real life. Like at one point, basically Robin Williams, his character, at the beginning of the movie, he ends up getting sucked into the board game, and then years later, his brother and his sister move into the house he was just in, and they basically start playing the game, and they unlock him, and he basically has been living in the jungle for, I forget how long, 26 years, says it on the back. Yeah, but Bonnie Hunt is in this, and Kirsten Dunst is also in this back when she was really young. So yeah, Jumanji, always a really great one. And the last movie, that was another movie that actually scared me a little bit as a little kid. And the last movie, I wouldn't call this like a full family film because it's got a lot of adult themes in it, but it's Mouse Hunt. And basically this movie about these two brothers. They inherit a house by their dead, I forget if I think he's their uncle. I think it's his uncle. He dies, and they inherit this huge house and his fortune. The only thing is that there's a mouse running around in the house. And of course they know, they want to fix up the house and sell it because it's actually worth a lot of money. But unfortunately they can't because the mouse is running around. So the whole movie is them trying to kill the mouse, and it's a hilarious movie. Like there's one scene in it where they put mouse traps all over the floor, and they can't get out of the house that they're the room that they're in, and then the mouse snaps one of the things, and they all go off, and they all get covered in mouse traps. Really funny movie. Mouse Hunt, really great film. Definitely recommend this one. It's a good family movie, but I would recommend adults watch it first because, like I said, it's got some pretty adult themes in this movie, but still is a great one. But anyway, guys, that was part 1 of my top 20 favorite favorite family films. I'll be doing part 2 in just a little bit. I'll probably upload that one tonight. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what your favorite family films are in the comments down below, or send me a video response, and I'll see you guys next time.